guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Eternity Renee, and in today's video we are going to be going over my most recent book purchases. So we're just gonna call this my spring book haul. So yeah, sit back, grab you something to drink, and let's talk about these books. So I have a huge stack. I think I have like 11 books maybe. This huge stack of books right here. So starting off strong for this mini book haul, we have Mayhem in the Mortal by Shanora Williams. This is a romantasy, I think, or fantasy. It says one mission, one curse, no escape. Zarya doesn't want to be a hero. She needs a weapon. To save her sister from a soul-devouring curse, she has to cross the shadows, a nightmare landscape of ruined magic, shifting past, and vicious creatures that will eat people alive. Her guide, Thane, a sorcerer assassin walking red flag. His name clears rooms, his magic kills quietly, and whatever he's really after is not salvation. He promises to help, but he might even mean it. But Zarya knows better than to trust a liar with a blade and ice in his veins. But she just doesn't have a choice. And I love this end paper. So cute. I've only read romances by Shanora Williams, but when I seen this, I said, going to the end of the earth to find your sister. Okay, I like that. So I'm really excited to jump into this. And this is the book that's been on my radar for so long. And I think I had got a gift card to Barnes & Nobles. So I went ahead and purchased this online. This is All These Secret Souls. This is a black horror anthology. So it's just short stories written by black authors, and I love horror. I love black authors, so I feel like this would be great. I know some authors in this book. We have Kaylin Barron, Lisa Sandberry, Sammy Ellis, Joelle Wellington. Those are just a couple names that I know off the top of my head. And the dedication for this book was T. It says, "To mom and dad who never let me watch scary movies as a kid, love you," or whatever. So I think this is gonna be great. I've heard nothing but great things about this horror anthology, and I'm not a fan of short stories, but I want to give it a try. For this next book, I was randomly at Target and I seen this, and it says The Room in the Attic. It was everything they wanted and more than what they bargained for. Adam and Jess move into a house, and this is a new house. It says a Victorian villa at the top of their price range with their 3 young children. Before long, Adam discovers a door hidden behind a fitted wardrobe concealing a secret room. Inside, Adam discovers a collection of forgotten items, a wallet, an expensive watch, and an old mobile phone. Jess thinks that he should just simply throw them away, but Adam resists. He is fascinated by these items and how they came to be inside this hidden room. But just like the house, Adam has his secrets too, and soon he will find himself setting an emotional series of events that will place his family in terrible danger. So I want to see how this is going to work. I love horror stories dealing with houses and families, because you always have one partner that is kind of on the other side, and you have the other partner like some shit is going on. So I feel like this is going to be a good read, and this is a nice mystery thriller to probably pick up during the summertime. Let's on to the next book. This is a book that I was really nervous to pick up, and this is Talia Hibbert's A Girl Like Her. I have not enjoyed Talia Hibbert's books. I normally DNF, which is like a soft DNF, but this one came with some cute art. Look at that. And then I seen on her story where she posted, this is what really made me go and buy the book. Let me tell y'all this here. I wish they had more than 2 pages of this, because I am obsessed. I love any type of media, dialogue, text messages, emails, notes. I love that in a book. So this was just right up my alley. But some of the trigger warnings I am not a fan of reading. It says she's hard to hold on to, but he's good with his hands. Prickly, autistic, and shadowed by a scandalous path, Ruth will always be Ravenwood's black sheep. It is the lonely life, but at least it's safe, until Miller comes to town. Calm, confident, and instantly accepted by their small English village. Ethan is Ruth's opposite in every way, yet he meets her, just smile, aww, and handles her awkwardness with ease, watches her with hunger that threatens to tear down all her defenses. But when a monster from Ruth's past comes back to haunt her, she's forced to make a choice. Should she trust Ethan completely, or is her heart safest alone? Check out the trigger warnings. I'm really excited to read this. I'm just gonna go fingers crossed that we don't go too in detail about certain events that has happened to our female main character. Other than that, I think I'm excited, but I also am a little nervous. Then the Jan Agaton said a book made her cry, and if you don't know who Jan is, you know Jan to death. But just her character and her personality and the books that she reads and recommends, for a book to make her cry, I instantly had to pick it up. And this book made me think of you. This is about a woman who her husband suddenly passes away, I believe, and he leaves her 12 books for 12 months and one chance to heal her heart. So the bookstore that she normally goes to contact her like, hey, we have a book here for you to pick up. It is attached with a note as well. So you're watching her heal and learn to fall in love again after being married, being with someone for a long period of time. And it says when she goes to pick up the present, Alfie, the bookshop owner, with kind eyes, explains the gift: 12 carefully chosen books, handwritten letters from Joe, one for each month to help her turn the page of her first year without him. And that made me cry, and I just hope that she falls in love with the bookstore owner. I also told my friend Rosie at Rosie Kinsey to pick this book up because I feel like this is right up her alley. She loves emotional, heartfelt literature, so I feel like she would really enjoy this as well. So I'm excited to read this. Next book is Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. A Barnes & Noble rep recommended this to me. He said I would love this as a mom. It says, they were never girls, they were witches. They called them wayward girls, loose girls, girls who grew up too fast. They were sent to the well house in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. And I think that right there is all I needed to know, because what do you mean we're taking underage women, girls, making them have babies in this secret location, and then we're making them give the baby up? And not only that, obviously there's some memory wiping going on. I'm excited. I've heard nothing but great things about this book. I have not dibbled and dabbled too much into Grady Hendrix, so I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping his writing style is going to be something that I enjoy. But the way this Barnes & Noble associate talked about this book, I could not leave him hanging, because we were chit-chatting for about 30 minutes about books, so I was like, I have to at least get one of his recommendations. And then I was scrolling on Amazon and I wanted to purchase Ken by Tara Jones, and I needed another book that could be overnighted. So I got Hidden Pictures. Gabby from Gabby Reads was talking about this one day, and she was like, these drawings in this book are horrific. And like I just said before, I love all those type of things. So all I know is that this kid draws these pictures. Like that's really all I know. It says, fresh out of rehab, she takes a job babysitting Ted and Caroline have a 5-year-old son, Teddy. She instantly bonds with this sweet boy who is never without his sketchbook. His drawings are the usual flair: trees, rabbits, balloons. But one day he draws something different: a man dragging a woman's lifeless body. Sold. Because obviously this child has seen something. It says, is Teddy trouble, or is he channeling forces he cannot possibly understand? Knowing just how crazy all of this sounds, Mallory must decipher these images and save Teddy before it's too late. So I don't know, but I think the dad did it. It's a new release by a new to me author, and I believe this is her debut novel, and this is Would I Lie to You, and this is by Nicole Blades. It says, Would I Lie to You is a thrilling spy next door story that may have you cheering for all the wrong people, perfect for the fans of Finley Donovan and killers of a certain age. That blurb sold me. I am obsessed with Finley. I will purchase all 8 books. I already have some back there, right there. So yes, my husband doesn't know what she does, and her job is to discover or steal something from him. And I just want to know how she's gonna be living this double life and also be married and then also have to steal from her husband. Like, I feel like that's a lot. Ask anyone about Lou Barrow, they'll tell you she's a loving wife and mom, fire body Pilates studio owner, and a kind neighbor. But none of them know the true Lou because Lou is a liar and a thief. It says she's been a part of a dangerous, deeply converted crime for the last 30 years. So this is the older female main character. I love that as well. So yes, I'm really, really excited to read this. I think I'm going to be picking this up this weekend. And also, this cover, cute. And it's not destroyed by any stickers, any Oprah book clubs, nothing. I am obsessed. This is Empire of Flames and Thorns. I've also seen this at Target. It says a Fae rebel, a ruthless dragon commander, and a deadly trial that will turn their lives upside down. It says trapped by this elite court by a forest of thorns, Selena lives at the mercy of dragon shifters, which is why I bought it, because I had never read a book with dragon shifters. Anyways, it says her chance to gain her freedom is by entering the trials, a deadly competition that pits the Fae magic users against one another, but only 3 people can win. Selena intends to be one of them, but there's only one problem. The Raven, the ruthless commander, the dragon shifter army, is determined to make her lose. He symbolizes everything she hates, and if he finds out she is also a member of the secret Fae resistance, he will not mess with her chances to win. He will kill her. But the more time she spends with him, the more she finds out she's incredibly drawn to him, and there's nothing more dangerous in a lethal trial than a distraction of hearts, especially one that beats for the enemy. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. Can y'all tell that like I want to be in my fantasy bag so bad? But I have not heard a lot of people talking about this book. I've never even read anything. This is by Moran Blackwood. I've never read nothing by her, so I'm excited to see what this is going to be about. We have Yesteryear. Y'all, I've been seeing this book all over Bookstagram, all over BookTok, and I was like, yeah, this cover, this title, it just doesn't do it for me. And then I opened it up. My name was Natalie Mills, and I was perfect at being alive. Natalie Mills is a traditional American woman, a beautiful wife, mother who sells pioneer lifestyle of raw milk and farm fresh eggs to her millions of social media followers. Her farmhouse is charmingly rustic. Her husband is a handsome cowboy. Her 6 children, each more delightful than the last. So what if there are nannies and producers behind the scene? Her husband is the heir of a political dynasty. What Natalie's followers don't know won't hurt them. Sick with the jealousy because Natalie isn't simply living the good life, she's building an empire. And I feel like that was a lot already. But it says until one morning she wakes up in a life that isn't hers. Her home, her husband, and her children, all familiar but wrong. Her kitchen is warmed by a sputtering fire rather than electricity. Her children are dirty and strange. Her soft-handed husband is suddenly a farmer. Carved into the wooden threshold is a date, 1855. Just yesterday, Natalie was curating photos of homemade jam on her Instagram. Now she's expected to haul firewood and hand-wash clothes until her fingers bleed. How come she's underwriting star over this reality show? Should she really be a time traveler? Ooh, I did not know it had like time travel vibes with it. It says a gripping, electrifying novel that is darkly as funny as it is frightening. Yesteryear is a glimpse-eyed look at tradition, fame, faith, and the grand performance of womanhood. I feel like this falls into that trad wife horror-esque book, and safe to say I am intrigued to read Yesteryear. Now, last but not least, we hold the spot for who is becoming one of my favorite horror authors, The Caretaker by Marcus Keller. Y'all, I still think about We Used to Live Here. I did rate it 4 stars, but I think about it all the time. It was a very, very intriguing book. But this follows Macy. It says she can't say why the job posting grabbed her attention. It had the pull of a fisherman's lure. Barbed, hooked, and all, it says, but after endless strings of failed job interviews, she's not exactly in a position to be picky. She has rent to pay, groceries to buy, and a younger sister to provide for. Besides, it's only 3 days work. 3 days, cooped up in a stranger's house, surrounded by organic hosts wilderness. What starts off as a particular side gig soon become a walking nightmare. Unspeakable evil may dwell on this property, and Maisie might just be the only thing standing between it and the rest of humanity. Follow the rights, and it says exciting opportunity, caretaker urgently needed, 3 days of work, competitive pay, serious applicants only. Sold. Sold. I don't know what this guy is going to be doing, but I already know one thing. He's going to take us on a roller coaster ride. And look at this cover. I feel like this cover matches beautifully with his other work, and I low-key wish I had that in hardback, but it's okay. So yes, this is The Caretaker. So yeah, guys, these are all the books that I recently just purchased, and hopefully I'll relax for the next month and don't buy anything because my pocket said not to. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed my little book haul. If you guys did, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.